Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for a baseball card rummage video. Done a couple of these in the past on the channel and they've drawn some interest. So I have some boxes of cards sorted by year that I've never shown on YouTube. And so I just grabbed a big chunk of these from one year, 2012 in this case, and we're gonna flip through them and then I'll be able to move them over to my already shown on YouTube boxes because I do organize my collection in that fashion behind the scenes so that I know what cards I've already shown on the history of the channel and which I have not. And so here is my very advanced Shoebox Legends patented filing system where I take an empty top loader and write the year on the top in marker, in Sharpie. That's what I have inside my monster boxes to kind of delineate, and we'll break these into two chunks. So a lot of these cards I probably picked up in or around 2012, and they've been in the collection for a long time. Just to give you some perspective on kind of where I was at the time, hardcore Red Sox team collector. They're my local team. Nowadays, I don't really consider myself a Red Sox collector, but I certainly did back then. So a lot of these are going to be Red Sox cards, but they won't all be. And in particular, my favorite player, as Xander Bogaerts had yet to debut and had yet to really have any cards in 2012, so it wasn't really on my radar. I was an Adrian Gonzalez guy, so we'll see a few of his in here, starting with this Bowman Gold of Agon, who's now retired. It's a very effective average hitter with some power, not known for his power. Here's Dustin Pedroia on the same Bowman Gold. So I would, back in this time period, I was always on the hunt for Red Sox and trying to flush out team sets or get shiny cards. Here's a nice Will Middlebrooks Ice rookie, which he was a pretty big deal for a year or two when he broke into the league. Looked like he was going to be the third baseman of the future for Boston, but didn't pan out that way. Here's a Josh Beckett, another Bowman Ice, pretty cool. So I got an insert here from Bowman. This is a Top Picks insert featuring Jacoby Ellsbury and James Ramsey. So a couple of guys that went in opposite directions career-wise, although at this point, Ellsbury's best years were kind of already behind him, which is kind of crazy to think about. Back into the stack, here's a Daniel Bard from Bowman Chrome. This guy's a cool story. Went through an episode where he just completely lost control of his pitching. Could not throw a strike to save his life. He was, I think, all the way out of baseball. And then he made a comeback, got back on track, and ended up, I think, playing with the Colorado Rockies as recently as maybe even this year. So pretty cool story there. Here's a guy that I collect just because he's been around or had been around forever. I have an admiration for the guys that pitch to a very advanced age or play to a very advanced age, pitch in this case. So Mr. Jamie Moyer here with the Colorado Rockies. And this is an orange refractor out of Bowman Chrome. So I think this will be low numbered. And you can see there, 13 out of 25. So not too bad. I'll get a stand here. We'll throw Jamie Moyer up, give you something to look at in the background. Those are beautiful cards. Love Bowman Chrome refractors. Love all refractors, really. But a cool Moyer there out of 25. And he's a guy that's really cheap to collect, even though he's a ton of fun. Try to pick up the pace here because this is a decent sized stack. We got some Bowman Platinum shine here with Adrian Gonzalez, Josh Beckett, Big Poppy, John Lester. Wish I was a Big Poppy collector more so than an Adrian Gonzalez collector for a couple of years there, but been trying to make up for lost time on the Big Poppy front. John Lester, Uke. Then we got the prospects portion of that set, Will Middlebrooks, and these are nice looking cards if you enjoy the shine. Got Anthony Renato, and then a purple Brandon Jacobs. So that does it for the Bowman Platinum, the Bowman and Bowman Platinum portion of the 2012 stack. These are in alphabetical order, so we go on to Gypsy Queen next, and this is a cool one. It's like a sepia David Ortiz mini, numbered out of 99 on the back, so not a terrible David Ortiz card right there. I like that one. Classy looking. And then my favorite thing about Gypsy Queen every year are these framed inserts or parallels. Just really, really cool. Love this Jackie Robinson. So this is actually inset and the border is raised to actually look and feel like a picture frame. It's got a little bit of just a light shine on the border. So just a really classy looking card with some great foil work. So I love the framed cards in Gypsy Queen every year. Here's a Moonshots insert that I kept of Willie McCovey, just because I like the insert name, and it's kind of a cool photo there. Another nice insert here, Sliding Stars, Jacoby Ellsbury, exactly what it sounds like. Got a Adrian Gonzalez, so these are from the low-end triple play set that you'd get in like all the repack boxes back in 2012. There's a Pedroia as well, then a Wade Boggs Hall of Fame insert. Then apparently I held on to some flagship cards. Not really sure my rhyme or reason for keeping some of these. I've been trying to purge and get my collection down to a more manageable size. So we've got Jason Hayward, Dontrell Willis, Mariano Rivera. I used to buy a lot of packs back then as well and try to build sets because I didn't know any better yet. So probably got rid of most of my commons over time and then just kept some of these Red Sox. Great photo on that Euclid with the green monster in the background. Clay Buchholz. Carl Crawford, always loved that photograph. Great collision shot. Felix Hernandez, who was just one of the best pitchers in baseball before he fell off a cliff. Always loved this Ichiro, making the catch in front of the outfield fence. Same with this Pedroia, who looks like Spider-Man on his 2012 flagship issue. Mike Stanton, before he was known as Sean Carlo. Clayton Kershaw, who I wish I had more cards of, so I do try to keep the few that I have. One-time Red Sox World Series champion Derek Lowe here with the Cleveland Indians, and that is not a super flattering photo for Derek. Justin Verlander, who has just been amazing again this year. I can't believe the season that he has put together. Great Derek Jeter shot here at Yankee Stadium. Coming out of the dugout. Got Josh Beckett. And then Ryan Sweeney. Then I have a target red parallel of Jacoby Ellsbury. And how's that for a home plate collision? Look at that helmet in midair. Great photo. And then a Golden Moments insert of Jacoby Ellsbury. There's some flagship tops for you. Next up, I've got one card out of Allen and Ginter. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is flagship tops as well. Pretty tough insert, and these were really cool. I don't know if they do these anymore or not, but this is a Silk Collection insert of Adrian Gonzalez. So, he was my favorite player at the time, so I did sort of player collect him for maybe 1 to 2 seasons and thought this was a neat one. Numbered out of 50. It's exactly what it sounds like. The card is actually printed on a small piece of silk that's embedded in the frame of the card. There's no back on it. What was cool about these, if we take this out for a minute, they left a little panel in the middle of the card. You can see in the right light here where you could actually feel the silk card beneath. So that I thought it was kind of a neat concept there to leave us a cutout so that we can appreciate that card. Or like if Pepino Man ended up with one of these, even though it's encased, he could still lick the silk card underneath. So not something you see every day. I don't think that's a super valuable card or anything. Adrian Gonzalez doesn't get a ton of hobby love, but for a team collector and a guy that I was kind of player collecting at the time, just a neat addition. I mentioned that I was still into set building at the time and hadn't really become jaded about it just yet, as I maybe am these days. One of the sets that I bought quite a bit of and enjoyed, and I have a little run of the short prints here, was 2012 Topps Archives. So these are all the short printed cards on the checklist. A lot of them feature Hall of Fame greats or just, fan favorites. So we got a reimagined 66 Willie Mays, an 80 Ken Singleton, Dave Kingman on the 77 design, King Kong. Got a Vita Blue on a 76. Love that photograph and love those yellow uniforms. My guy Will Clark from growing up on a reimagined 86 Topps Traded, I guess. Nice to see an action shot on that design, whereas his original is a portrait. Wally Joyner, whose 87 Topps card was pretty infamous back in the day. Got Andy Van Slyke, so as I said, you get some fan favorites in here as well as Hall of Famers. Mitch Williams with the Phillies on the 92 design. Brett Butler, also on a 92 with the Dodgers. Bake McBride, how about that, on the 75 Topps. And then Louis Tiant, I have a autographed version of this card as well. It was included in the fan favorites autograph checklist that year. 77 Ken Griffey. Got the 93 John Olerud, who was just such an awesome player in the early 90s. He looked like he was on a path for the Hall in the early days of his career. Ron Gant with the Braves, again 92. Roger McDowell as we get near the end of these short prints. Jack Clark on the 88 design. Big mistake here by Topps. This bat should have gone over the team name. One of the cool things about the 88 set to me initially was that 3D effect by having the photo overlap the team name, and they kind of failed to do that. But they did do it here on the George Bell card, so I guess making up for that. And then the last short print that I have from 2012 Archives, Vaughn Hayes of the Phillies. So why do I have these? I don't know. I no longer aspire to complete the 2012 Archive set as I did back in 2012. Long ago, got rid of all the base cards, but for some reason just hung on to those high numbers. So I guess, you know, in the odd event that one of the few people that watches this is collecting 2012 Topps Archives, you need any of those short prints, just leave me a comment. Got some inserts from that set, 3 of them here. Got a nice 3D Dustin Pedroia, because as you know, I love 3D cards, so couldn't pass that one up for the collection. Got a 67 Topps sticker, Carl Yastrzemski. I do have some of these original 67 stickers of the Red Sox. I don't have Yaz, more common players, but I'll try to show those in an episode at some point. And then lastly, on that front, we have the cloth insert of Jacoby Ellsbury on the 77 design. So there we have that. Just a few more left here. I know we're at the 11-minute mark. We're almost done with this stack. Just have some opening day quick. So just a handful of Red Sox. And we already saw these images on the base set for the most part, but there's Ellsbury, Mark Melanson, great closer. Uke, another look at that photo. Another look at the Carl Crawford, and then the Clay Buchholz opening day version. Again, would I collect those these days in 2022? Maybe not. I guess if someone sends them to me in a care package, I'll hang on to them, but I don't pursue Red Sox cards like that any longer. And then we've got an insert here. This is from Updates and Highlights, Blockbusters, which highlights big trades in baseball history. And this, of course, pays homage to the Red Sox getting Big Papi from the Twins. Got a Heritage, I think this was a Walmart exclusive, maybe, blue border of Adrian Gonzalez. Cool card there. And then I've got a couple Topps Chromes. Love the shine even back then. So here's a Will Middlebrooks rookie out of Topps Chrome to go with that Bowman Platinum Ice that we saw earlier. Really loved Middlebrooks for a little while there. Got a black Clay Buchholz. I think these are numbered out of 100. Yep. Copy 79 out of 100 in the upper right there. So nice Buchholz there. And then I've got 2 blues. These are numbered out of 199. Mike Aviles, who wasn't with the club very long. And then the blue of that great shot of Dustin Pedroia, which we will put up in the background here because I love that image of Petey looking like Spider-Man. And then one more to close it out here, and I guess it's a pretty big one if you are a player collector of this guy. So Adrian Gonzalez, as I mentioned, I was his fan, a fan of his back in the day. He was my guy. Managed to get this triple threads 1 of 1 of Adrian Gonzalez. So again, he's not a guy that gets a ton of hobby love, but I guess anytime you can get a 1 of 1 card of a guy who was at one point your favorite player and played for your favorite team briefly, can't really complain. And I think I got that for around $10 back around 2012 or so. So that is a wrap. That was my stack of random 2012 baseball cards that I had to share with you today. Hope you saw something that you enjoyed among this grouping, and I'll certainly be back in the near future with some more sports card content, 2012 or otherwise. Until then, enjoy the hobby and stay safe.